What's up, motherfuckers? During the last 10 days, I was playing the strongest tournament in Spain and maybe one of the strongest open tournaments in the whole world, the Llobregat Chess Open in Barcelona. And I'm going to analyze the full tournament and my own games. And yes, I'm going to show you my analysis on my own games. Uh, that's the fourth time that I play this tournament. The last year I was so close to reach the norm. Now I don't need the norm, but I needed 30 points to reach 24 of rating to become international master. But okay, let's see what's happening in the tournament. In the first round, I play against Elena Krasenkova, a women international master. Oh, I forget about put the title. Oh, okay, I don't put the title, but she's a women's international master. Um, and okay, let's analyze the game. Before, I haven't so much time to prepare this game because the first round we published at 12 and we play at 4. But it's okay, I analyzed some lines and I see that she had some Alekhines in the last month. So I prepared this line of the Alekhine and I prepared his move e6. It's a bad move, but she played in the past sometimes. I never seen this move. I only know the move d6, who is here the main move. Here white have two options or two main options or f4. Take here. But okay, I never saw e6. It's a bad move. It's a really bad move, but I don't know why she employed more than one time. I don't really understand. But okay, she play e6, knight c3. That's all of this I prep. Knight c3, d5, c5, knight c d7, knight c d7, b4, b6, rook b1. The idea of rook b1 is prepare a3 because now black is coming with a5 to break my pawns. So the idea of rook b1 is play a3 at the next move. I can play a3 here, of course, it's completely possible. But okay, I just decided to play rook b1 first. I don't know. I have no specific reason. I just want to play rook b1. Okay, a5 by my opponent, a3. Now c take, and now I only prepare this move. B takes c5. That's the only move that I prepare for the game. B takes c5, and if B takes c5, here I got bishop a6, h4, bishop takes, king takes, knight c6, and h5. That was my analysis. Yes, and I analyzed this position. I was ideas with queen g4, rook h3, rook g3, knight h3. But in general, the principal idea is queen h4 and not allow black to finish the development. And of course, my position is also pleasant. Simply c6, who in my opinion this move is a little bit strange. Principally because you are losing this square for the knight because you want to develop the knight to c6. Especially you are going to play bishop a6 to trade the bishop there, of course, but later you want to develop the knight to c6. And with c6 you are covering this square for your knight. Okay, here I out of theory, but I play h4, who looks so natural. Just win space in the king side. Was the next move, bishop e7, now queen g4. Very annoying move. I not allow black short castle because bishop h6 is winning a exchange. g6, bishop e6, that's so typical. So for a reason, she played g6. And now I made a okay. I'm not going to say a mistake. It's more inaccuracy. The mistake came in the next move. I play h5, which is not the best. Was stronger. Stronger was knight f3. Just waiting what black is going to do. The idea of knight f3 is principally cover the g5 square to prepare h5. So that's a very good preparing move. If short castle, now h5 of course. You cannot go short castle, and your king is going to be so weak if you go short castle here. So if h5 doesn't care, just we can go back to g3. And if f5 the same, we can go back to g3 and just let's go improve the pieces. So and h5 is the threat. So knight f3 could be a better move. But okay, I play h5, which is normal. f5 by my opponent. And now I make an important mistake, positional mistake. I should play here e takes f6. Okay, in this position I have two options, or go back with the queen, or just take on f6. I have no more option, just or open the position of or keep the position close. I was thinking that I have advantage with both options, so I think that I have advantage keeping the position close, and I have advantage keeping Yes, open the position. But I decided just to keep the position close because the black pieces are so bad, especially the knight on b8, the bishop on c8, the knight on d7. His pieces have no good squares. But the problem of all my plan is that I allowed black to sacrifice on the center with some counterplay. So the best option here was take on f6, knight f6, and queen d1. That's the best option here. Okay, what's the idea of queen d1? That instead of with queen e2, you are covering the la diagonal and you cannot develop the bishop. So the most logical is queen d1. It's so typical it's more in the French defense to develop the queen to g4 and later return to d1 to create some weaknesses. And the idea is that after knight h5, here I calculate rook h5. Queen takes, king d7, knight f3, and just a white position is just completely winning. Black have an exchange up, but the black king is also unsafe. White have more development, more space in the center, and it says that I'm developing pieces with tempo, so black king is also unsafe. And after king b7, the final touch is b5, and black should resign early. So instead of that, I play queen h3, who is a bad move, because, okay, I have a plan of just attack d5 and take the g5 pawn. This is my plan. The problem is that after king h8, sorry, king h8 was played by my opponent. Sorry, the problem is that after b takes and knight d5, knight sacrifice, pawn takes and knight d7. Here black have a huge counterplay because now finally the black pieces are open and white is still undeveloped. Black have a space in the queen side too, so black have many advanced pawns, and it's so typical in this type of position when you have so much space in the center, especially with the pawns on d4 or on e5, that white should sacrifice a piece to create counterplay. So that's why my plan was bad. But okay, instead of that, my opponent played king h8. By luck, he missed the idea of the sacrifice. And here I just still developing pieces. Knight h3 was slightly better. Attack first the pawn and later bishop d3. Okay, I think about that, but okay, I just decide to first develop the bishop. Pawn takes, knight h6. Knight f3 would move. And here my opponent makes a very strange move. She plays f4. Open my bishop, and now I have the option of play g3 to open the position. Was stronger, just defend the pawn with g4. Knight g5 and just make the sacrifice. Yes, that's all the time the idea, sacrifice on c5. But okay, f4 here was not good because now I have the option of break with g3. In this exactly moment, I cannot make that because now knight c5 is of course also annoying. And I saw that of course, and now before d3 is coming. So for that reason, I just go sarcasm. Of course, the rook is better placed on h1 because queen g4 and rook h5 could be my plan. But now my king is having some problems on e1 because first this knight is sacrificing here. And apart, sorry, there are ideas with queen a5 and knight b4. So for that reason, I decided to first go sarcasm. Okay, I say I know that my rook is better placed on h1, but I just want to put my king safe and avoid sacrifices. Okay, knight c7. And now, okay, the machines prefer a little bit g3, breaking here everything. But okay, I just want to keep my light square bishop. Okay, doesn't need. I just can break with g3. But okay, I first decide to keep the light square bishop and later break on g3. Bishop a6, rook e8, queen e. Here I was thinking about trade and play rook takes, and here I was thinking about bishop a4, knight b8, and here okay, looks like I'm knight b8 here, yeah, maybe knight b8 is, looks like I'm completely winning, of course, but okay, I just decide to keep queens over the board, but queen e8 looks like is going followed by bishop b5 maybe. Oh no, sorry, here black have, yeah, I don't know what black should do. Yes, looks like black is completely lost. But okay, I just decide to keep queens with the idea of, okay, now I'm attacking g5 and later I have two ideas, or play with g3 or play with king h2, rook here and king g1. There are my two ideas, but uh, g3 is so logical here. But okay, rook g8, King h4, sorry, king h2, queen f8, attacking the pawn, but he's not really attacking the pawn because after rook h1, here I just winning. He cannot take here because king here. And now the a7 pawn is falling, and it's the problem for black position all the time is my huge central pawns. I'm not talking so much about that because it's a little bit obvious, but all the time the black problem is the just that his pieces are so bad, thanks to me to my own very good central stock pawns. So yes, queen f8, rook h1, and she finally desperate and decides to sacrifice to create, but she just sacrificed in the worst moment. Because after bishop c5, the problem is not that only I take in the piece. The huge problem is that I take in on g5 and I enter on f7 with checkmate. And after rook takes, queen takes, rook g8, here I'm going to give us this position like an exercise to okay, let's think what you can do in this position. But okay, here I play. I hope that you find the correct move. Rook b8, very good move. And if the knight takes, queen f6, and if the rook takes, queen g7, and he cannot take the queen because the rook is pinned. So very good move to finish the game. And after knight c8, sorry, bishop c8, rook c8, my opponent resigned. So that's a good game to start the tournament. It's always fine to start the tournament with a victory. I have things to improve, like specifically be more careful with the central sacrifices. Um, yes, and just not play h5 so early. Just to prepare with knight f3. Very interesting idea. So okay, that's the start of the tournament. Victory in the first round. So let's see how continue the tournament. Bye bye, motherfuckers.